That's right, you read the title. I beat Minecraft in 10 freaking minutes. That's right, 1-0. Like, I'm actually still in disbelief. This run happened yesterday, and I still, like, cannot fathom that it happened. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing like basically like a rec rap style commentary video. I'm going to watch it back, talk about it, talk about the run, because this is such a monumental thing that I had to share it somehow. So immediately we got a buried treasure spawn. Anyone who knows anything about speedrunning nowadays knows that buried treasure is the way to go. There is no one plays a run that isn't buried treasure pretty much. Sometimes people go for a village, open a blacksmith, see that the chest sucks, and then moves on. So buried treasure is really the only thing we got, which you can find by using your pie chart like I just did. It's all funky. I'm going to talk more about how that works in a second. But we get wood, and we're just out. I go to this kelp, because usually magma ravines spawn under kelp, meaning it's a great way to enter the nether. But a thing that I'm noticing now is that I forgot to craft a bucket. I do not have a bucket, and you need a bucket to make a portal. So I'm thinking I'll place this crafting table, and I'll make the bucket, and then I'll use the same crafting table to make my flint and steel, and then move on. This is all very scuffed, because I need to replace my door, and it's like, that's like probably 10 seconds of time lost. Now I get down in this ravine and I realize that this is not a magma ravine. I grab a bucket of water. Oh, never mind, it was a ghost bucket, so I grab another one. I almost got exploded by a creeper. There's a second one. I block it with a door. And I'm just hoping there's going to be lava somewhere. I find a massive pool of lava, so I'm like, okay, we're going to enter. This is fine. And so I place it down. I'm lit on fire. Turns out the second bucket that I grabbed was also a ghost bucket. So we go back for more. Third bucket isn't a ghost bucket. We're fine. And so now I'm just building my portal. This is like 2016 strats. Like everyone knows how to do this at this point, I feel. I try to make sure that my lava doesn't all get turned into obsidian. This is like a pretty average enter for me. Ideally, I would enter under 2 minutes, but because of all the bullshit that happened... Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Because of all the shenanigans that happened, that wasn't really possible. Now, I see my entity spike pretty quickly. And so I see, oh, we got a bash in that direction, pretty close. I'm like, oh, that's a fortress. Okay. This is fun. This is a speedrun. It's so common to just, like, get a decent nether enter for it then just to go, like, not go anywhere because you didn't roll the structures you needed or the terrain was terrible or something like that. Only problem here is that it's soul sand, meaning that you move a little bit slowly, and I want to save my blocks because I want to use my wood to make beds later on. And so I don't want to place it all down to move quickly over the soul sand. I'm going to use a bit of it here because I've got like 24. And I'm realizing now that it's a housing bastion. And I'm going to need a few blocks for that. So I grabbed this netherrack for sort of a safety play. Because yes, I do want to go fast, but also just losing this seed to playing recklessly would really suck. Now I get here and I realize that there are a million zombified piglins. Which piglins are terrified of some reason. I break the chest, they're too scared to get angry. I punch this guy, he doesn't care, right? This guy cares, punches me once, or stabs me once, I suppose. And so I just don't get nearly as many pigs as I'd like to. But I don't have time to ponder, so I just go about my route. Now, if you have watched a lot of speedruns, this isn't anything extraordinary. This is just a top-down housing route. Lose some time to using blocks because I still want to conserve my wood. And this is a thing that I've said multiple times to my friends that I think is like... I think is really true for like almost all Minecraft players, whether you're considering speedrunning or not, is that you look at these like how bastion routes and you think, damn, how does this work? How does this person know like what blocks to place, break, how to get all the piglins into a single hole? How does this work? And I can just recommend, like, learning bastion routes, because it's really fun to learn. When I was just getting into speedrunning, I, like, looked up some tutorials on how to route bastions. Then I did it, and then I just, like, couldn't stop for hours. It was so much fun. And it's also just a neat thing to know how to get gold blocks in a bastion, because, I don't know, maybe you're making a beacon, maybe you want gold for whatever reason. It's just a good piece of knowledge to have if you're serious about playing Minecraft. Now, we've got 20 obsidian, 16 pearls. I would like more pearls. I get more pearls. We've got 20 now. And so I'm kind of pondering here. Should I leave? Should I go? What am I doing? I'm like, okay, fine, we leave. I don't remember exactly how many pearls I have. I know that the terrain was in that direction, but that way was blocked off, so I need to go all the way up. I could probably have dug through, but I wasn't entirely sure, and I didn't want to waste a million seconds to being stuck in a wall. And so I leave behind here. I try to get a better angle. I almost fall into the lava right there. I throw the pearl up to this top terrain, drink some fire res while I'm pearling. And now this fortress is in a soul sand valley, which means that if I lower my render distance to 5, I can get a lot more blazes and wither skeletons to spawn. Blazes is the one that I'm really looking for. So I'm running around on this exterior part of the fortress. I see 2 blazes. I remember that I have a diamond sword, which means I can kill blazes pretty quickly. First one drops, second one doesn't. So far the blaze rates are perfectly average. I find the spawner here, and I decide to go for the safer play of just playing the spawner and not going for a bunch of strays. I've already got 2, that's enough. That's enough for strays. And yeah, I get pretty low here due to blaze melee, which is the thing that I'm, like, not super happy about with how I played in this run, all in all, is my food management. I think that's a thing that I lack, like, pretty... like in broad generality when speedrunning. See, I just take a bunch of unnecessary damage. I have 5 rods. I don't want to stay in here with the blazes, so I'm thinking I'll go into the overworld. First I'll craft my explosives. I get 5 beds. Oh, never mind. I go for an extra blaze. I didn't think I'd do that. I think I would be terrified of dying. I probably forgot that I was on low health. That sounds like me. Got 6 explosives, 22 obsidian, and so I'm just looking frantically in my inventory for my boat. Find it. And the reason I need a boat is to do something called boat eye. This is a technique that uses some really advanced math, so luckily I have a calculator. But essentially what it lets me do is if I get in and out of a boat, then I can measure only one eye, and if I do it pixel perfectly, which is what this setup is, like that, then the calculator will give me a 100% certainty location of the stronghold. Now, I don't want to eat my salmon right here, so instead I'm going to place a bed to hunger reset, letting me save the salmon for later. I spawn an endermite, but I try to get out as quickly as possible so that I don't take excess damage. That's a thing that I feel like a lot of people starting speedrunning forget about, is that minimizing damage is really important. Because taking a lot of damage takes a lot of food, and if you're out of food, you're going to have to do a bunch of hunger resets, and that's super slow. And it seems pretty obvious. Like, obviously you don't want to take a bunch of damage, but at the same time, you want to go fast. It's sort of a difficult balance, I feel. Now, I need 1 more rod before I'm able to leave. I have the coordinates of the stronghold, and so I kill this guy. He drops, but I don't think I realize it. And so I start killing this guy. I realize that I have the rod, but I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go. I should stop swearing. Now I'm just going to the coordinates that are displayed on my calculator in the top left. I think about bridging, but I realized that it's like 30 blocks and I'm just going to throw a pearl into the lava because I have fire resistance. I land like 8 blocks from the chords, so I'm just going to bridge on the edge of the soul sand to not get slowed. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, I stutter a little bit there. Pretty clean portal build. It's alright. I don't go for the super crazy stuff because it's just... I mean, my previous PB was 1456. Like, the thing that I should be worrying about going from a 1456 is not super minute time saves. But we're in the stronghold at like 8:40, and I'm frantically looking around for the portal room. You can tell that I'm a little bit nervous because my gameplay is a little bit shaky. I go here, and this is... I should stop swearing. And that right there, I want to talk about that. This is how much my mind was racing at this point. I run in here. No portal room. I see the portal room. And right here, I think about hunger resetting in the corner. Right here. I think about it, and then I decide not to. That's how quick my mind was racing at this point. I just fill in all the eyes, and we're in the end at 9 minutes 4 seconds. My previous end to PB was 11:15. 2 minutes slower than this. And also 30 seconds slower than... Oh, I shouldn't spoil that. Ignore what I said. Right. So now we're just here, and now we're just waiting. This is the probably the worst part of any speedrun if you're one cycling, is that you can play perfectly and then the dragon can just decide not to patch, because I'm pretty sure every like 10 seconds or so it has a 1 in 13 chance of patching, meaning that technically it can just like, it can wait infinitely long to patch, obviously being infinitely unlikely. Now you can shoot down a bunch of crystals to make this chance increase, but that also removes the chance of an instant patch. And so when you're playing RSG, you usually want to go for the like risky strat that can pay off big time. And I also don't go for 0 cycles, which is when you kill the dragon in the sky, because I don't know how to do those and they scare me and I don't want to think about them. But the dragon purchase, this is a very quick patch. And I just managed to get there in time. Wait, no, I wait a full rotation. I got plenty of time. And this is just, that's good damage, but these last things that just don't do. That was not a clean one cycle. Huh? And I'm just confused, listen to this. What? Please tell me I recorded that. What? That is wild. And yeah, so we get the final time of 10 minutes 45 seconds. And if you're noticing that I'm watching this on YouTube, how's that possible? Well, you see, I have this playlist right here, Raw Speedruns, which is a bunch of speedrunning clips from my time. Currently there are only 8, but I promise there'll be more to come. So if you're interested in seeing some raw speedrunning and my improvement over the, well, I guess 9 months that I've been a speedrunner, then this is where you can find it. I absolutely could have never imagined that I would get a 1045 this quickly and out of nowhere. And so I'm going to send this to the leaderboard, and if it gets accepted, I think I'll be like 313th in the world, which is pretty nuts. Yeah, that's all. Have a good day. Bye-bye.